Record. All right, great. Hey guys, good morning. It's been kind of hectic for me, but the today's Zoom session is now going. It is now recording. It's on regions. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna move over a little bit. There we go. Regions review. Well, no, you can't really see that either. There we go. Regions review. Okay. I'm going to be noting some
Hey.
Hey Leo, you gonna turn on
Hi.
Deja, turn off your mic. Diamond, turn off your mic. All right, great. There we go. So, yeah, doing regions review, and I'll kind of just take it through. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. All right, great. So, we start with the regions review module. Okay, and the regions review module is where we're starting today's stuff. Basically, I'm gonna run you through what today's doing. First up, we're gonna review using the material we first used in class when we went over regions. All right, we're just gonna run, that's what we're doing right now, is we're gonna just go over that real quick. Then we have our second, we have a live Zoom review. That's what we're doing currently. All right, if you can't make it, it's okay. We recorded, put up here afterwards. Third, you will complete the quick types of regions assignment to practice identifying and explaining regions. That's the next assignment. All you have to do to get there is click the next button once you're at the regions review module. Remember, you got to get through all the modules in order, otherwise they don't work. So I'm going to click on the our original regions slides. All right, and that's what it looks like. All right, so let me kind of expand this out some. Okay, I'm going to hide thumbnail video. There we go. All right, so we got a little bit of a upcoming thing. We're going to be talking about diffusion tomorrow, so you guys can check that out. But today we're talking about regions, right? This was our original little intro into what regions were, right? And whoever's on here, mute. Mute. There we go. Mute. There we go. Anybody else need to be muted? I think everybody else is good. All right, cool. Oops, that's not what I wanted at all. So we're gonna keep going. All right. Oops. There we go. Okay. Just like styles of music have similar characteristics, so do places. Okay. Think whatever areas of Houston can be grouped by similar characteristics. This was the think, pair, share we did. I'm not going to bother going through it because it's hard to do something like that in chat. But regions, right off the bat, thing you need to know, share common physical and human geographic characteristics. All right. So regionalization is the process geographers use to divide and categorize space into smaller areal units, the same way a writer divides a book into chapters and then names or classifies them, right? Putting places in regions makes it easier to study them. You can select a characteristic to study. So if you just want to study the temperatures of different places, you could easily find that. If you want to just study the, let me find the chat, all right. Click the found there button, it takes me to pages, not the PowerPoint. What? What do you mean pages? It should take you directly to the module like it did me. All right, doesn't matter. We'll deal with that afterwards. All right. Either way, you should be able to find very easily if I exit out of this, right? Let me see here. If I exit out of this, all right, you go to modules, and then you can go all the way down to the first unit. Hey, look at that. And probably the one you're going to want to look at is going to be regions, because it's a module we've already used. It's crazy. Insane. There you go. Wow, look at that. We're going to keep going through. All right. You can define the extent of a region by collecting data to delineate the region's boundaries on a map, and these factors can change over time, hence the reason it's a process, okay? There are never any regions that will stay exactly perfect and exactly the same over the course of all time. Things like that don't happen, okay? Because factors are constantly changing, right? The area that was controlled by America has constantly changed over the course of America's history, right? It was originally just the 13 colonies, and then it spread out over all of the North American continent, spread west on the North American continent, and then it began to take over areas, small areas around the rest of the globe until now we have huge amounts of military bases all over our planet, okay? So, easy one to understand, the first type of region, okay, is going to be formal regions, okay? And formal regions are really easy because they're an area with a defined or official political or physical boundary, okay? So you can see on the map on the right where it has all of the states, all of those western states, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, all those states are official formal regions because they have an officially delineated boundary, all right? All of the provinces in Canada, like British Columbia, Yukon, Northwest Territories, Nunavut, all of those areas are official formal regions because they have official political boundaries, okay? Or you can have physical boundaries like the Rocky Mountains. Once you're not in the mountains anymore, you are out of the Rocky Mountains. That physical boundary denotes where this formal region ends and begins, okay? You can also look over here, the 7 continents. Some of them are very, very official, like Antarctica. That is officially the continent because it connects to no other. Australia, that is officially the continent because it connects to no other. Africa, there is a very, very specific point where you are in Africa and then you are in Asia, okay? Now, once you get up between Europe and Asia, it's getting a little bit trickier. North America and South America definitely has that very delineated boundary, okay? And those are examples of formal regions as well, okay? And then we have a formal uniform region, okay? These are climate regions, physiographic regions, political boundaries. So formal regions can be uniform as well. And uniform means that the characteristic you're looking at is the same across the whole thing, all right? So if we're looking at climate regions, you can actually go in and track hot, humid versus temperate using data and statistics to find a formal uniform region, okay? Then there's functional nodal regions. That's an area that provides a specific service and is organized around a node or a focal point. So this is a delivery map for Beauty's Pizza in Boston, Massachusetts, all right? The green arrow right there is exactly where Beauty's Pizza is located. The non-darkened area is where they deliver pizza to, okay? That means that the green area is the node, the regional center where the function's headquarters are located, like a home base, okay? Guys, what else might be used to determine Beauty Pizza's delivery area? What do you think they use to help determine those delivery areas? You guys can just check out or answer in the chat, okay? We're just gonna go up. Here we go. Where's my chat at? Move my camera over. Oh, there's better. Oh, I, for some reason, can't get to the chat. That'll happen. Not really bothering me. Basically, you can see it stops along the river because going across the river with a pizza is difficult because you only have these sets of bridges, all right? Also, do you see how it runs along this long road right here? That's because going off of that road probably puts the pizza traveling for too long and it gets cold. So you really only want to use these large yellow roads to get to areas fast before you turn into these smaller neighborhoods, okay? All right, which type of region is shown in the example below? And I'll blow this up for y'all right now. This is the calling area for the Cricket cell phone service in Houston, Texas, okay? This is the calling area. So if it's the darker greens, it's really, really great reception. The lighter green, it's not good. And then once you're in that light tan, you're getting into nationwide roaming, and then the gray is where you're getting into future coverage area where they haven't put up cell towers yet. So guys, what type is it? Allow some time for the chat to speak. All right, let's see here. Where's chat? There we go. Ah, there we go. Giselle, if you can't, let's see here. To use your computer audio. All right, yeah, that's functional, guys. That's functional, guys. I'll check out what's going on with the region module later and see what's going on. But the whole thing with this is that it is functional because this is where a function can be found, right? And for this instance, it's Cricket Cell Service, okay? So let's keep going. I'm gonna hide chat real quick. There we go. Okay, functional regional examples. All right, the best thing, pizza delivery, distribution center areas, school zones, metropolitan areas, because if we go all the way back, right, we go all the way back, provides a specific service and is organized around a node or a focal point. So pizza delivery is going to be organized around the focal point of the pizza place. Distribution centers are the focal points for which distribution center you get your Amazon packages from. All right. School zones are located around the areas that pay for those schools. Okay. So which areas, property taxes pay for the schools. And finally, metro areas, where can you get metropolitan services and functions? Okay. Amazon and retailer warehouses are examples of nodes. Based on this information, a map, which region has the shortest shipping times? It's probably going to be up here because one, if we go to the key, we see that that is the shortest average shipping time. Also, it's where we have the most retailer warehouses and Amazon warehouses, all right? So, perceptual or vernacular region, okay? Perceptual is an area that people believe exists, but is not official, okay? Oops. So, a great example of this is ghettos, okay? Ghettos are places that have certain perceptions about that area. This is a ghetto in West Baltimore, right? But here's the thing, guys, do you think that neighborhood officially calls itself the ghetto? No, it does not. It's based on pure stereotypes and perceptions, all right? That neighborhood has a very different name that they go by if they want to be official, okay? But due to perceptions and vernacular, people also call it the ghetto, all right? So functional is the same as nodal, all right? And then we have perceptual, which is going to be the same as vernacular. All right, great. So perceptual regions, where is the South and why? We kind of talked about this in class, right? Some people say the South is whichever area fought for the South in the Civil War. So that's part of Texas, right? That's going all the way west into Texas. But then some people are like, no, it's below the Mason-Dixon, right? Which is this line right here, okay? Then other people are saying, oh no, it's places like that have the Southeastern Conference, which used to just be this area right here, and it's actually expanded out to Texas and Missouri recently, okay? So it's places where they like country music and barbecue and all that, right? So that could definitely expand it into even Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas, all right? It's all sorts of things, okay? Some places, or some people were saying that West Virginia was part of Texas because there's a bunch of Hicks in West Virginia, is what they were saying. You got to remember that kind of clashes with that earlier idea of, oh, is the place that fought for the South in the Civil War. West Virginia didn't fight for the South. They broke off from the South. They were never part of this, or they were part of the South, and then they seceded and joined the Union, right? Perceptual regions change over time, is what I'm trying to get at, all right? And you can base them off a bunch of different things, okay? So, are these the regions the best way to describe the United States? Why or why not, all right? You can get into this idea of, oh, here's the South, okay? Here's no regional affiliation. That's really interesting because some people consider this the South right here. Other people consider this part of the Northeast, all right, which is even up here, okay? You've got all this. You've got the Midwest up here, all right? You've got all this region is the West. That's interesting because I don't consider California part of the West. I consider California the part of the Pacific area, but it's all up in the air, okay? You can also see down here, you even have Acadia, which is a very, very tiny area of Louisiana that was found by a group called the Acadians, all right? If you want to learn about them, there's a bunch of really interesting stuff to do. Oh, look at that. And then there's a nub of the South down here. I kind of don't agree with that. Why would this area be considered the South when it's probably closer to what the Southwest looks like than what the rest of the South looks like? All right. You can also watch this video about ESPN arguing over the Midwest. That's a funny one, right? They're getting into, is Oklahoma part of the Midwest? We don't know. All right, I'm going to check on chats. Does anyone have a question? All right. Okay, I'll figure it out, Fatima. Don't worry about it. So, and then we have the world regions. All right, this is really important because these are the world regions you need to know for the test. If they ask you a question specifically about Southeast Asia, you need to understand they're just talking about this area right here. They're not talking about Australia. They're not talking about South Asia. They're just talking about these islands and this peninsula right here, okay? You need to understand that East Asia is this part of China, Mongolia, and then also Korea and Japan, all right? Who's beeping at us? Danielle, you need to mute yourself. I took care of it. All right. So these are the most important regions to know. All these regions, you got to remember them. You got to memorize them. All that stuff. Okay. So we're not going to do this because we don't need to. Okay. We just need to get into the idea of today's lesson, which is going to be, and I'll click to it. All right. There we go. And what we're doing is we go back. I don't know why you wouldn't have. I'll find it. All right. So, okay. So the thing you do is once you're done reviewing, you just go back to the regions review module. Okay, I'm going to share for this real quick. 1 second. There we go. There we go. We're going to screen share. Let's get this. So you're on the review module. Okay. Let's see here. Stop the video. There we go. Yeah. So you click next. All right. You're going to complete the regions practice using the Google document assignment. You must be logged into Canvas. All right. Remember, you can always click on this link right here to open it up as a separate page. Usually allows it to load a little faster, and it'll make a separate piece for you. And then you have a submit button. Okay. Basically, you'll go through this. All right. You'll answer these. All right. Identify which type of the following regions are in the space provided. So are they, is New Hampshire a formal, functional, or perceptual region? What do you guys think? I'll open up the chat real quick, and anyone who pops in first. Okay. So do we think that New Hampshire is a formal, functional, or perceptual region? All right. Formal, no. There is no official guideline on what area is New Hampshire. Or is there? I'm just kidding. It's formal. Yeah, it's a state. All right. So, reception area for a TV station. All right. What do you guys think reception area for a TV station is? Nodal. Good. Perfect. All right. Or also functional, right? Those are both the same thing. American Rust Belt, area where a lot of automobiles are produced. You guys should know about this now after our development unit. What would be the American Rust Belt? Would that be perceptional, functional, or formal? All right. Caleb saying perceptual. All right. Anybody else? I think you could argue both ways because it used to have a function that used to be areas where you could work in the automobile manufacturing area. But now it's called the Rust Belt because all of those factories have broken down, right? So it's really more of a perceptual region. Those factories that were making cars have broken down and are now rusting. Also, the factories and mining operations that supplied those areas are now broken down and rusting. So you could definitely say that it's a perceptual region instead of a functional region. Okay. American South, we kind of talked about that. What's that, guys? There you go. Caleb got it again. Perceptual, right? Because we talked about how it could change depending on how you want to perceive it. All right. So this is really what you need to know, right? When it comes to regions, there's 3 types that also have secondary names. There's formal, functional, and perceptual. And formal has the secondary name of uniform. Functional has the secondary name of nodal, and perceptual has the secondary name of vernacular. All right. Those are the important things. And all you do is you're going to go through today's assignment. Okay. You go through today's assignment. You're picking out which is which on part 1. And then part 2, you need to identify your own example of each of the regions and explain why it could be considered that type of region. So first sentence, identify the region. Then sentences 2 through 4, you just explain why that region counts. Got it? That's all you're doing. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. I'm going to stop my, let's see here. I need more. There we go. Stop recording.